Hey everybody, it's Kristin Korn here, your creative entrepreneur and educator from Life with Purpose by Kristin Korn. And today I am super excited to talk about when to have a personal logo created. Okay, so maybe you are a small business owner. You're in search of like a really fun and cute personal brand logo that works for you. Maybe you just started a blog. Maybe you recently joined a company, maybe a network marketing company, or you just love sharing to social media and love to get a personal touch on all of your materials. But I want to talk about what personal brand logo is, when you need one, if you need one, and what you need to do first, okay? So, as a creative designer, I see people often dive headfirst and anxious to have that personal brand logo created without even knowing their strategy behind the brand and who they are. Because remember, you are your personal brand. Your logo is not your brand. Now, the two are interchangeable, but they are very yet different, okay? They're very interdependent. So, remember, a logo is not your brand. You are your brand, but having a consistent palette, so colors, fonts, typefaces, and look to your entire presence certainly makes you stand out, and people will take notice in who you are. And this is like the heartbeat of everything that I do and love to share about. So I'm super excited to get on here and talk about this with you. All right, so I mean, that's the whole point, is to get more followers, more people attracted, the right people attracted to who you are and what you stand for. So what defines a personal brand is more than the visual identity though, because you have a logo doesn't mean you have a brand. So I definitely want to get into that with you real fast. All right, so what is your logo? All right, now technically, a logo is the physical representation, a symbol, an icon, emblem, lettermark, or word for your personal brand. Okay, so basic level here, logos are symbols made up of text and images that help you create your brand mark. Okay, let me give you an example of mine. Okay, so if you've seen any of my materials, you notice that I have a name, I have my icon, my heart, what I do, my color palette, because your personal brand logo, that's the cornerstone of like your strategy, overall purpose, and vision. So it helps customers understand what you do, who you are, and what you value. So because you can see my second logo has Kristin Korn, that's actually my own handwriting, and then it has a lot of what I use the terms creative educator and creative entrepreneur and educator underneath it. That's not on this specific board, but you'll see a lot of my logos actually say that on there. But anyway, it's everything that is tied into that brand portfolio or that brand logo. It just helps customers overall like understand what you do, who you are, what you value. Okay, they kind of can get a really good idea about who you are based on that logo. So that is a lot of responsibility, I'm not gonna lie, in one image. So that's why you need to understand your brand before you jump into that logo, all right? So they are nice to look at for sure, but logos are used everywhere. So that's why you need to make sure you get it right the first time, so you don't have to go back and redo all of your signatures and stationery and business cards and your website look and your blogs and social media images. I mean, there's your brand is going to be everywhere. So you want to make sure you know who it is and what it stands for first. So for my clients, I actually produce that entire brand board. So they have a visual strategy for that brand palette that they choose. They have the typefaces, which are the fonts, and then I give them 3 logo options to use for all those marketing needs, okay? All right, so you know what the logo is, but now let's talk about your personal brand. All right, so your brand is intangible. So it's how you're perceived by your customers in the marketplace. Okay, so you try to influence this with a really strong strategy. So in my reference, which I use a lot because personal brand, it's who I work with. I don't work with a ton of companies, I do, but a lot of what I do is all personal brand. So that is a person like myself who sells services or online courses or products. So I want my strategy, so that's the tone, that's how my message, that's how I talk in my copy, it's the images I use, the marketing tools. That is what I'm talking about when I'm talking about my strategy. So a good branding strategy gets you noticed in the marketplace and then on social platforms. And it's probably how you were attracted to me in the first place, right? So that is the goal, is to get noticed and build a strong relationship with your audience through your voice and those visuals, okay? So first you have to identify, determine, your brand strategy, and that is like who you are. You really need to dissect who are you and what you stand for and what your values are, and then start there, and then you're going to figure out what your brand logo should represent, okay? So a lot of my courses, that is exactly where I start off, all right? But if you're kind of lost here and you're like, man, I really need to figure that stuff out, lucky for you, I have a free download I want to share with you. So if you have yet to nail down that personal brand strategy, I want you to start here, okay? This is a free guide that will start getting your wheels turning on what your brand stands for. And I'm not talking about like just visually, but I want to do purpose. Like everything I do is with purpose. So download this 5 Secrets to Creating a Strong Personal Brand. And in here, I'm going to help you really use some pull marketing strategies. And these are things you can start implementing today into your marketing. So go ahead, and I want you to click on KristinKorn.com, and right smack dab in the middle, you're going to see this image. Go download this freebie, okay? Now, you get the freebie, and now let's talk about when you should get that logo created. All right, so in my years of experience as a creative designer, you guys, I have completed hundreds of amazing brand boards for clients and logos. I suggest that you get focused on that vision, purpose, and know the direction of your brand before you order that logo, all right? Your logo is the part of your branding, but it's not all about your branding. So I want you to really figure out who you are first, okay? You don't want to jump into a logo before even knowing what you want it to represent or stand for. So your brand is made up of a set of perceptions people have about you. And one of my favorite quotes is, your personal brand is what people say about you when you're not in the room. Now, your visual element always helps people understand you more, but a lot of your personal brand is just about you, your voice, and sharing your authentic self. So it's just kind of like a big picture impression that you leave on a consumer, or maybe just a social follower or a teammate. And remember, this is left by a lot of things. It could be left by a conversation or an ad you put out, your customer service, or just your social media presence overall. And of course, yes, your logo, because that's my favorite. But all right, that is what I have for that. If you want to read more about this, I created a blog entry, and you can go straight to that on KristinKornblog.com. It'll be right on the front. And if you are ready for your own logo portfolio, you can order yours at KristinKorn.com. Just click the courses tab on the top. But again, as always, be sure to follow me on this Kristin Korn social media channel, my new blog, KristinKornblog.com, or subscribe to my email list. If there's any part of brand or marketing business that I can help you with, I would love to hear from you, especially in the areas of empowerment, self-confidence, and sharing your voice. So thanks for joining, guys.